Okay, let's talk about how to learn HTML. And before we do that, I'm going to go to a website. It's called dice.com, www.dice.com. And the reason why I'm going here is because this is the website that's used by the industry for people who are in tech jobs to find tech jobs. It's the biggest tech job website on the internet. And you can see that according to this, it's got 80,000 tech jobs right now. This is also a good way to figure out what kind of technologies you might want to learn to get a job. For example, if I go and put in a technology such as, well, let's put in the word Java. So Java is a programming language. If I hit find tech jobs, it comes back and it says there's 13,816 jobs that have to do with Java. We're going to be learning HTML. Let's put that in there, HTML. And here we find that there's 5,314 positions that deal with HTML. And of course, this is for hardcore programmers. But the truth is that every single person that works in a business environment could benefit from knowing HTML. In this class, I hope to teach you how to create your own website, maintain it, create your own database, have your own database-driven applications. So we're just going to, kind of scrape the surface. You're going to be introduced to it. You might not know all the stuff, but it will put you in a position in which you can really use web technologies in a way that will help you to get a job and to keep a job and to move up the ladder. So let's go ahead and get started. How to learn HTML. Well, I'll show you how I learned, and that is by just buying a book. This was 20 years ago, but I bought a book called Sam's Teach Yourself HTML in 20 Days. This is the 6th edition here, and I just found this on the internet. I don't know if it's free now or if somebody just posted it, but it basically goes through and it advertises that in about 20 hours you can figure out how to publish things on the internet and learn all of the HTML tags and the CSS tags as well. For me, it took me about 20 hours of study to learn HTML, and so I just took about 3 or 4 days, set those aside, and just studied HTML for those. It was well worth it. I still use it every day, almost every day today. There's other ways, of course, to learn HTML besides book learning, and one of those is by going to a website called W3 Schools, and here they have a tutorial on HTML. They've got these chapters. They show you some examples. You can try it yourself. You can look at the code. You can make some changes to the code. So I can put my own headline here. Sean's page. I can click see results, and it shows me what my HTML code would actually look like within a browser. So this is a good way to learn HTML, w3schools.com. And w3schools.com is a resource that I will use almost every single day. It's a wonderful tool for learning how to program HTML, CSS, and a lot of other different languages that are web related. You may also want to try to go to YouTube and see if you can find videos on how to do that, how to learn HTML. I'm sure they're out there, although I haven't really looked that much. But what I'm going to ask you to do in this class is to go to a website that is called Code Academy. Code Academy is an interactive, free web tutorial that allows you to actually type in stuff. You'd probably want to create an account so it stores your progress. But here, I'm going to say learn to code HTML and CSS. It says it's going to take about 7 hours for us to learn this. I'll go ahead and hit start, and keep in mind that is HTML and CSS. So that's about 2 weeks of a college class. It says start here. Each lesson starts here. Read the explanation, then follow the instructions underneath. If you get stuck, you can click on the hint for help. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And so what we got here is we've got some code that we can change here. So we've got this thing called the doc type HTML. This is a tag that you'll find at the top of all well-written HTML documents. It'll say doc type, HTML. There's an exclamation mark in front of it. And then we've got following some markup language. And here we've got a strong tag that encapsulates the words. Feel free to change this text, so I'm going to go ahead and change that. So I'll put, yay, it works. And as I'm doing that, it's showing up in this little mini browser here, showing me what my web page would look like, or what are the results of my HTML. You notice I've also got a full screen option. And now that I've done it, I can go ahead and save and submit code. Or if you wanted to, you could read the instructions here, and it tells you to create a web page called test.html and to make the code look like this. But we'll go ahead and just work within the browser here. I'll say save and submit. This is way to go. I did it correctly. Start a next lesson. And so here I can read. And then, for example, this is telling me to always put the doc type first. So I'm going to put the exclamation mark, doc type, HTML. And then it says down here that I should have some HTML tags, opening and closing. So I'll create an HTML tag opening here, and then I'll close that tag with an HTML closing tag. Okay, so now that I've got that, I think I might be done. So I can go ahead and hit save and submit. It says, oops, your doc type tag doesn't look quite right. Well, let's take a look at it. And I can see that I misspelled doc type. So I've got to fix that. Now I'll submit, and yay, it worked. So I can go ahead and start my next lesson. So this is what I'd like you to do in this class to learn HTML. After you get done with all of these HTML basic lessons, you're going to go ahead and make a screenshot of the work you've done and go ahead and send that to me. Now, to create a screenshot, you'll notice on your keyboard up on the top row, and of course this is if you're using a Windows keyboard. If you're using a Macintosh computer, you might have to Google it. But on the top row there's something that says PRTSCRN, and that means print screen. If I press that button, nothing happens. But if I go ahead and press that button and then go open up a Paint program like Windows Paint, I can hit Control V, and it will dump whatever my screen into that. Then I can save that as a PNG usually, and then you can just email that to me and I can grade your work.